Let's get this. Sorry, let me just adjust my audio settings so we actually hear the. Man, this is last minute. What do you mean I can't adjust audio mix? Yo.
Scar Logan has joined, and I'm pretty sure he has a qualifying game.
Is he on track?
I don't know. Oh!
Okay, so.
LASF Roman with the spin.
Alright, I think we are live. Welcome, if anyone's in the stream, to the round 2 of ISRL's Tier 2 championship. Tier 1 races the same track tomorrow, same time. But for today, we got Tier 2. We got a couple of Tier 1 guys filling in as reserve drivers. ISRL Mushroom, and actually, no, I think he's the only one so far. Now, who do we have on track right now? Who's already out on a hot lap?
Let's see. Fallen Monkeys in the Red Bull. I think just started his first official timed lap.
Does look that way, yeah.
LASF1 Roman was on his timed lap, but he span and hit the wall pretty hard in Sector 1, so he's trying to limp back around with the pits. Chris Can, first one to set the official time. Looks like a 1:22.8 in the Williams. So
it does. So yeah, I'm on board with Fallen Monkeys right now. We'll see. Oh, I think no, I think he bailed out of his hot lap. He's down to ERS like 2, and let's give the people what they want. Let's get some tire data and some time data up on the board. Oh, who's that in the grass there? No wing. That's that Cotton Eye Joe I see.
Yes.
It is in the McLaren.
Looks like Mushroom coming around to set his first time. Or is he's starting his
Fallen Monkeys just started his I think he's starting his first lap as well. He popped it into Rich Mix. So that time on the board, he probably bailed halfway through and decided to just go for a second one. So not too representative of his true pace this session, at least. I know he likes this track. He always talks to me that he does. Actually, I kind of hear equal things about this track coming from him. Sometimes he hates it, sometimes he loves it. We'll see if he loves it today. So far, so good on this lap, though.
Yeah, and Scarfo tops the board with a 22.4. It's about 4/10 ahead of Chris Can in the Alfa Romeo.
Absolutely. Now, do you have any drivers from memory or based on last week's performance that we should keep an eye on this week?
Definitely Lorenzo Scarfo. Definitely for the first part of it. And as we got a spin here, Mushroom.
Oh, let's click over to Mushroom. Yeah, we see him right there on stream. And what happened there? He's gonna spin it around there.
Just through the left-right. It's very easy to do that. Definitely going into that right-hander. Yeah, you don't want to get a corner cut on the inside, so you go wide on purpose. But those curbs will get you. And
especially on those hard tires, a lot harder to bring them up to temperature. Now I'll let you take over commentary for the next minute or so. I got to get the stream link out there on our Facebook. If you want me to hop in on anyone's on board, just shout who you want to see.
All right. Looks like we've got Cruz in the Alfa Romeo setting the slowest time so far. Not sure if he made a mistake. Looks like he's going for another one right now. The winner of last week's race. So far, last in the qualifying order. Let's see, Chill Mose looks like he's about to come around and set his first lap time in the Ferrari. Let's see what it's going to be, and he goes slowest now actually with a 1:26.1. Chilmo had a DNF last week.
Yeah, well, it was a disqualification. He took too many penalties, so he's gonna stay far from those corners this week, I think.
Yeah, probably the safest bet. Rather be safe than sorry. Looks like Alex had a bit of an off trying to avoid. Oh, and we've got a Toro Rosso with some damage. Looks like EV tracks.
Yeah, it looks like he's had a bit of an accident. Oh, and he spins it trying to come back on track there. Too much too much gas on the grass. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, got to be careful. These guys coming around trying to set times. Forgot to mention catastrophic. A solid lap, 1:23.9. Puts him in third in the pecking order. We've got a yellow flag, trying to see where it might still be for EB Tracks, trying to limp back around. Now it's actually in sector 3. Oh, it looks like a Red Bull. Yeah, it's Fallen Monkey's going very slowly.
It does, yeah.
Trying to avoid the cars.
Let's hop over on him. Yeah, he's on his softs. I think he might be on the mediums. He's already set 2 laps on those mediums. So I think he... do you think he's going for a third one? Maybe just see if he can... I don't know if that's a good idea.
Just a little bit more. It's risky though. If that's the tire he wants to start on.
Exactly.
The more laps you do, the fastest lap that you set, you got to start on it. So starting on more worn tires as he peels now into the pits, probably taking our advice.
I think he probably has a stream open on the side there. You heard us. It's our amazing 1 second stream delay. And sorry, the stream is just about ready to go on our Facebook. I just have to edit our post here. And yeah, so far we've got what, half the grid making laps there. I think that's a Mercedes Mushroom about to. Is he going to go for a hot lap? Yes, he is. So we're going to go on board with him, quite literally, and see if he's able to maybe take pole. He is one of our Tier 1 drivers. He's filling in as a last-minute reserve this week. As catastrophic, he's going to get in the way. And yeah, no. That catastrophic in the way, that's not good. Big crap. My God. Yeah, catastrophic was not looking behind him. Mushroom, you got to be careful. You're going to get a disqualification if you go backwards on the track. And he's going to get reset there. That's
I kind of saw that one coming. Though.
Yeah, Mushroom. He definitely should have bailed out of that lap. Catastrophic was kind of blocking the apex there, so the stewards are going to take a look at that. That's quite unfortunate. We're just talking about how he was gonna try to basically set the pole laps, show everyone else, how the Tier 1 boys do it. But he's gonna have to try again. He's got 8 minutes to get back to the pit, put that new wing on, and get back out there. So I think he's gonna have enough time. We're gonna hop on board with. I think Chris Can's back on track right now, is he? Yes, he is, and he looks like he's on a hot lap. He's got no battery, so I don't think. I don't think he's going to be doing much right now.
He's passing a Mercedes right now, or it looked like Tommy has retired.
Tommy has retired, indeed. Yeah. Let's hop on board with the deck. He's on his out lap, and he's coming out to the final corner right now, about to start his hot lap. Now, turn 1, turn 2, those can be tricky corners, but they're not the trickiest on the track.
No.
They're very easy to get wrong, though, and it always sucks when you start your lap and you go wide on the grass there and you lose it a little bit of time, and that whole lap you're trying to claw back. It's not one of those easy 1-2s where you can only get it so right. It's very, very easy to screw up your whole lap there.
And I find this corner that he's going through right here, especially on the exit, trying not to beach the car on those curbs.
And I've done that more times than I care to admit. It's always a little bit... I wouldn't say embarrassing, but it's never fun.
Feel very hopeless when it happens.
Exactly, yeah. And you're kind of just your passenger at that point. You can't turn. Exactly. Your front wheels are kind of off the ground, and you just gotta hope that you can catch it before you hit that grass. And this is the tricky part. He slows down a lot there to making sure he gets it right.
Oh, there you go.
Wide on the curb, but doesn't look like it costs him too much time. He's definitely yeah. You can tell
he's the final place in the podium last week.
Yep. Due to he had an unfortunate penalty during the race, and it did cost him. Actually, it did cost him in the end because I believe Tommen is the one who took that place. As I pull up the standings here, I believe Tommen did end up taking that place on our official records. because the deck had a, or was, oh actually no, I believe it was Tommen that took the penalty. Is it?
Yes.
It's
Yes,
possible,
okay.
yes. And I remember the third place podium spot switching there near the end. And yeah, the deck, he brings it up into 4th place with that lap. So not a bad lap from him considering he had a couple of mistakes. So he's, oh, who's that upside down in the, that's catastrophic in the, oh, he went very wide. He's going to have to be very careful when he gets back on track there.
Very impressed with Chris Can in the Williams. Not only top of the charts, but pretty solid gap between himself and Cotton Eye Joe in the McLaren.
Absolutely. We're gonna have to wait and see though. It's possible, you know, maybe he has a more aggressive setup, and it is possible that he pushed those tires too hard, and that's gonna cost him in the race. But we'll have to. That's still quite a ways away. Now, who's on a big hot lap right now? Let's see. We're gonna ride on board. We're gonna follow LAS F1 Romain. He pole sitter last week. Unfortunate incident with the deck actually into turn 1. And he was kind of able to claw back. I believe he finished 6th last week, but that's not the kind of result you're hoping for after snagging the inaugural pole position, is it?
Definitely not, but great way to bounce back. As we have a spin, EV tracks with another spin coming out of the second to last turn. Hopefully he's got enough time to
get back and get out of the way, yeah.
But this is a good track to it's kind of a good redemption track. Not too difficult, and it's not too easy at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he can bounce back.
Let's see. Apologies if the camera doesn't switch too much. I'm actually trying to make the thumbnail right now for our live stream. I did get home kind of at the last minute. There's a big snowstorm outside, and it appears everyone forgets how to drive as soon as there's an inch of snow on the ground. And there's quite a bit of traffic on the way back.
The guy who didn't forget how to drive is Roman, who goes second.
It is, yeah.
122.0.
Absolutely.
Good
and
there.
I think Lorenzo is actually about to start his hot lap. Nope, he's not. He's going to dive back into the pits. He was on an out lap, but it looks like he decided better of it. Chilmo is going wide a little bit. Let's see. Is that him? Is that the
we got Mushroom
in sector 3? Yeah, again, yeah. And he gets right in Chilmo's way. That's you don't want that much. I'm pretty sure Chilmo was on a hot lap there. But yeah, he's not going to improve with that. He had to slam on those brakes going into the penultimate corner.
We got 3 minutes left now, and it looks like the only one, at least that I can see on a hot lap, is Chilmo. Maybe.
I believe Cruz is on a hot lap. That's
yes.
Who I have right now, and he's impressive performance so far. He did win last week's race, if I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he did win the tier 2 race. So he's our championship leader. As he goes a little bit wide in the gravel there. Our championship leader. We'll see if he's able to hop on the opportunity like he did last week. Because yeah, big moment there. He did go wide as he and yeah, P2. So good laps from him so far.
It comes to wonder if he hadn't have made that tiny mistake out of the penultimate corner that he might have snagged pole away.
It's very likely. It's definitely a possibility because he does have pace. He showed it last week. He was very far ahead of the rest of the field during the Grand Prix, and he didn't have all that much pace in qualifying, but he definitely showed that he's able to spot an opening and jump on it. As we see a lot of cars in the pits, I would expect all of these guys to be out on a hot lap right now getting ready because there's not a lot of time. And if you want to improve, it's now or never. This track takes about a minute and a half to get out. I hear some cars getting out of the pits right now. They're not going to have enough time to get around. So that's a bad judgment call on a lot of drivers' parts. Maybe some of them are happy. They feel like they can't possibly improve anymore. But as we get a yellow flag. I'm not sure who that's for. We're gonna follow Fallen Monkeys in the Red Bull. He had some unfortunate luck with his front wing last week, getting involved in a couple of accidents. Not through any fault of his own, but just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, basically, and something happened in front of him. So he's definitely hoping to. As EV Tracks retires from the session, he's hoping that he's going to be able to step it up and hopefully finish in at least the top 5. I'm sure he'd be happy with a podium. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh wow.
The Toro Rosso, he must have hit the wall on the exit. And that's the end of his qualifying session. Oh, big moment for Monkeys there. You saw that rear end step out. I'm impressed that he was able to catch that.
Looks like he was coming up on some traffic. Not sure if they're on a flying lap or not, but looks like he'll be okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. Oh, he goes a little bit deep in that corner. That's going to cost him. And yeah, he
wow.
probably saw his Delta go in the red there and just went, all right, that's it. There's no point in pushing this lap any further because then I got to drive all the way around again. So
Chris looking good right now.
Yeah, and let's hop over to him. Yeah, he's in the pits right now. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to beat him unless Scar leaves the session again. That's unfortunate. Yeah, LAS F1, that's going to be a mouthful to say all race. I'm just going to call him Roman, I believe.
Roman.
Yeah, Roman, yeah. He's on his final hot lap. He's going to be coming around that back straight there. This is where you make or break it on this track right here. I believe it's turn 13s and 14. He's going to chuck it in. Lots of room on that corner. And, there you go. You were talking about that curb earlier, and look at that. He goes right on it and ran the wall. That's it. Qualifying done.
And we had another one in the Haas right behind him. Almost did the same thing, able to keep it straight, but he took a big hit after losing control of that car.
Oh yeah, and that's the kind of crash that if it would happen in real life, that's an instant red flag. That was a big impact right there. And we're obviously he's okay. He's I don't think he hit his face on the steering wheel too hard back at home. But as catastrophic goes wide, but is he going to be able to improve his time coming across the line? We're going to have to wait and see for that end screen. So I'm finally uploading. Turns out making a thumbnail and commentating can be tricky.
Tell you one thing though, if I were to wreck like that out of the on a flying lap, I'd probably want to bang my head against my computer.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's not feeling too great right now. But overall, good qualifying session. As let me just take a quick screenshot of this for the history books. Yeah, Chris Ken with a big 2/10 lead. So it's impressive start for him so far. He was in Tier 1 last week. Decided to drop down. There were so many drivers to talk to. I forget if it was a schedule-related reason or he just felt his pace was better matched for this tier. But it's looking like he might have made the right decision if he's trying to score points and podiums. And we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe he did have quite an unfortunate start last week in the Tier 1 Canadian race. It was our first DNF. Had a bit of a spin and just, spin on Canada. There's usually a wall pretty close. And just an unfortunate outcome for him. But he's going to be looking kind of a redemption race for him, hoping that he can step it up, get back, and he's already in front of the field. Let's hope he's going to be hoping he can stay there for the whole race, really. Now,
not a very easy track to make overtakes, as we saw in the real-life Australian Grand Prix with Valtteri Bottas took advantage as we head to the formation lap here.
Yeah, and who's a driver to watch for you based on the qualifying grid? We've had a couple DNFs, the guys that are going to be looking to claw their way back through the field. But is there a specific driver you want to keep your eye on now that we have the qualifying results?
Definitely want to see how ISRL Mushroom is going to do, starting 7th. A Tier 1 guy who is filling in. A little bit of surprising seeing him start 7th. We'll have to see how he can try and strategize or overtake his way through the field if he can.
Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of interested to see how someone like Vito, who had and I just noticed actually he did change his gamer tag to ISRL Vito. He was Vito B2626 last week, and he was actually our overtake of the week. He took down 2 guys in a single chicane right before the Wall of Champions in Canada. That was very impressive, and he's shown that he has quite good racecraft, and he can make those moves stick, because he made that look like cakewalk. Yep. And he's starting at 8th. He's going to have to do some of those moves again, especially with Mushroom right in front of him, to get back to the top of the field. And he's coming off, I believe, a second place finish. Ended up taking that podium. Actually, that move was for the second place on the podium, which makes it all the more impressive.
As they come around here, about to start, the only person on the medium tire is Mushroom, so... Maybe
absolutely,
perhaps
yeah.
A 1-stop?
Now, it kills me to say this. I'm not sure which strategy is best for this track, because I haven't practiced for it yet. Even though I'm racing it tomorrow, I got some work to do tonight. I was let's just say I was busy with other games this week. The drivers line up on the starting grid. The lights are going to go out fairly soon. And let's hope they can keep it very clean through turn 1 and 2. As lining up on the grid now, hopefully we get a slightly better angle on this. There you go. And first light, second light. Lights are going up. 5 lights, and in Australia, we're go as LAS Chriscan gets a good start. I think it's Roman in the front there. He gets an amazing start. Lorenzo Scarfo, oh my goodness, big crashes in the back as Cruz actually gets into one of the Ferraris, and there's a lot of cars going wide there. There's lots of carnage. It doesn't look like anyone crashed out of this race, though. Just some front wing damage on a couple of the cars, as we see the Alfa Romeos going almost 3 wide there. It was, oh my goodness, Chilmo right in the dirt. He's going to have a lot of gravel on his wheels. Everyone's all over the place so far. As
unfortunately, ISRL Mushroom, just talked about him, has no front wing right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him. And he was starting on the mediums, so that puts his strategy completely out the window. Lorenzo Scarfo, he managed to stay clean through the start. I think we're going to have to take a look at Cruz's start, because he ended up pushing one of the Ferraris, I believe, of Vito wide, because Vito's all the way back in 11th place right now. He's going to be gunning for that 3rd place, but honestly, after seeing that start, it's possible that he gets a penalty to take it away. He's going to go right down the inside here, battling with the deck into... I'm not sure what turn that is, but he gets the move done very easily. Turn 13, what am I saying? I should probably keep my map handy, shouldn't I? And I think we got to crash Chilmo.
Yeah,
yeah, that's one of the, Chilmo, look at that, all the way down to 14th. He just lost it there. That's very unfortunate for him. So 2 of our regular guys already all the way at the back. They're going to have a lot of work to do as we see Vito dive into the pits to get a new front wing. We're going to hop on board with EV Tracks. He's in a tight battle with Cotton Eye Joe, Catastrophic, now going into turn 1 and turn 2. He's going to dive down the inside. No, he's going to think better of it and wait down as another... Sector 3 yellow, I believe that's just Smoke getting back on track. And so, look at that Toro Rosso going for the move down the inside, getting pushed onto the grass, but not going to make it stick in the end. He's just going to wait and take his time. Good thinking there. There's no point in pushing for a move in these corners. It's tight, there's not a lot of room to go, and your odds are you're going to end up making a mistake.
The worst part about that crash for Mushroom is that he did start on those medium tires, so any hope of a 1-stop race is now out.
Well, yeah, he's on the hards now, so he's. Do you think he's going to be able to push those tires to the end?
He's going to have to conserve the life out of those tires if he wants to try and make it to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe hoping for somehow maybe getting...
that's one of the Haas's, the deck. He's out. Out in, I believe, turn right after turn 12. And he was just like you were talking in qualifying. He just rode up on that curb, I think, and that rear end stepped out. It's so easy to do. Let's hop on board with Roman. Yeah.
About Mushroom. Hope maybe he's thinking get to 5-6 laps to go, put on a fair sauce, try and make up a couple of places.
Absolutely.
I don't see how he's going to make it to the end on
the you know, worst case scenario, you can always go for the fastest lap, especially if you're in that top 10. As exactly. Yeah, Roman dives into the pit. I almost called him Grosjean there, and and he probably had some front wing damage of some sort.
He goes onto the hards too.
Yeah, and we're gonna hop on board. Who's a tight battle right now, Track? I think we're watching the tightest one, as EV Tracks he had kind of a bad qualifying. Only got one lap in, and it was several seconds off pace. But he's looking decent right now, chasing down Cotton Eye Joe in 7th, and Cotton Eye Joe's chasing down the Haas of Catastrophic in 5th. Who's chasing the Red Bull of Fallen Monkeys, and it looks like the gaps are starting to space out a little bit, but those soft tires, they're gonna fall. They're gonna start dying very soon. And as Cruz retires, what happened to him? Is it another one on the same curb?
I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. Vigo has left the session, so his AI cars. We got a notification about the host migrating. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah, it is possible for him to rejoin the session. We might have to send him an invite of some sort, but yeah, it is possible for him to rejoin. So it's not all said and done for him. But that's unfortunate for Bigu. He was running decently in the top 10. That's good enough for points in F1. And Catastrophic goes a little bit wide there. As Cotton Eye Joe, he's gonna hope he's got the DRS open, and see he's running on 2 right there. He should have popped that onto overtake, in my opinion, and he would have gotten that move done. Because you're running on medium ERS. How are you supposed to catch up to him? He's obviously running. He's obviously running high or overtake ahead of you to keep you behind.
Oh, trouble!
Oh, what's going on over here?
Oh, what a save! What a save!
Oh my goodness!
He got incredibly loose. I think he may have touched the inside wall. Tommy In had a front row seat to that one. Probably almost his stomach came out of his mouth, but it was a great save. May have some damage though.
Let's look on the cameras there. I don't see any damage on that Toro Rosso.
So. Wow, what a save!
That's good. Good on Tracks. After that tough qualifying session, it's good. Sometimes you get that good save, you get that move early on in the race, and it just motivates you for the rest of it. It keeps you pushing forward. So hopefully that lights a fire under his seat for him, and he gets many more. Hopefully not saves, because that means you almost lost it, but moves and overtakes this Grand Prix. We're gonna stay on board, I believe, with Cotton Eye Joe for now in the McLaren. He's the closest battle we got, chasing down Catastrophic, but Catastrophic's doing a great job keeping him behind. But actually, look at that. Catastrophic has a bad exit. Wow. Cotton Eye Joe, he's going on the attack on the outside. We saw Alonso try that on Gutierrez in the Haas. In the McLaren, actually, a couple of years ago. We all know how that ended for him.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Yeah. Cotton Eye Joe, fortunately, doesn't suffer such fate. But it does look like he took a little bit of end plate damage there. I'm not sure when that happened. I didn't catch it. But at some point, I think they might have made slight contact there.
On EV Tracks now, I think he may have had some more contact, because he's now missing some end plate.
Yeah, he didn't have any. He definitely did not have any right after his incident that Tommen had a nice view to, but it is possible that he might have touched that wall a little bit later on. Is that Tommen now? He's on the attack.
What missed was that Alex in the Red Bull appears to that he's jumped into the pits. I think most likely last lap to put those medium tires on. So
yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Must really be struggling.
And look at that. Catastrophic goes deep. Cotton Eye Joe coming on the move. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1. Catastrophic not helping himself there, getting a lot of grass. And I think Tommen might actually be able to get the move done as well. And Tommy's going to look down the inside and side by side going to turn 1. Is he going to go on Cotton Eye Joe as well? Yeah, he does. Cotton Eye Joe goes into the gravel. Oh my goodness. And Tommen gets 2 spots in a single corner there. And I'll have to see. We'll have to see some other angles on that. See if there's any contact there, because he got by very easily. And Catastrophic. What happened to Catastrophic here? Did you think Catastrophic might have pushed Cotton Eye Joe? Because I think Catastrophic just gave the spot back there.
Yeah, I was about to say, you could always sense when something is about to happen, and you knew as soon as you saw a 2 wide and a car in front,
yeah,
someone was not going to come out of there cleanly.
Absolutely. And that was very dicey. Very lucky for Cotton Eye Joe to save that with no more damage than he should. He only ended up losing 1 place out of there, but now look at that. He's already 5 seconds back on Tommen in half a lap. So he lost 1 spot, but in terms of track position and distance to the leader, that's a big loss, because that puts you out of the overcut or the undercut window on a lot of those guys ahead of you. So he's gonna have to really there you go, as Bigu rejoined, so he should hopefully retake control of his car there. And he's gonna have to step on it and keep it clean, because if he makes another mistake like that, I think he just dove into the pits actually.
One thing that we haven't mentioned so far, sorry to interrupt, is that Chris Can has built a 10-second lead over Lorenzo Scarfo.
Absolutely, and we haven't seen much of him on stream because he's racing out front and he's racing clean. And he's already passed Alex Jha.
Yep.
Look at that. Two guys get lapped already, and we're only on lap 7 out of 29. So very strong pace from Chris Can so far. And I think, honestly, I have to say, he probably made the right decision dropping down to Tier 2. It was voluntary. So? He messaged me one day. He said, hey, listen, man, I think I'm better suited for Tier 2. And he's proven himself right. He's far ahead out of the rest of the grid there.
Not too many close battles going on. I think the closest one we've got is Fallen Monkeys is just about 2 3/4 seconds behind Lorenzo Scarfo for second. Looks like Catastrophic might be starting to catch up to Cotton Eye Joe. But very spread out so far.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because we do have a couple guys on the hard tires. And so, the gaps are spread out right now. But as we get to the end of that race, and the guys on the softs, the Chris Can pits, we're gonna have to see maybe. So Fallen Monkeys is gonna be, and Lorenzo Scarfo, they're both gonna be trying the overcut on Chris Can. So do you think it's gonna work? Chris Can's putting on the hards. We all know. Bigu rejoins but retires. That's unfortunate. But as I was saying, now we got Lorenzo Scarfo lead of the race. Not net lead. He did end up pitting. He hasn't pitted yet, rather. But Chris Can, he's got the hards on, so he's going for 1 stop. That's confirmed. Sure. But they take a while to heat up. So are those softs faster than a fresh pair of hards? And we're not gonna be able to tell until the end of lap 8, it seems. And
the thing is that Cotton Eye Joe is right on him. He's gonna have to keep him behind him if he has.
Well, if Cotton Eye Joe gets ahead of Chris Can, then Chris Can's going to end up losing quite a bit of time. Good spot to pit though. As you can see, he fell right in that gap. So unless Cotton Eye Joe can catch up on DRS, I think Chris Can should have quite an easy time now as we get that's EV Tracks in Sector 3. So we're coming up to here on the onboard right now.
Another retirement, or did he?
Is it the same spot, you think?
Did he just now retire? That might be in the exact same spot.
I'm not seeing any cars on track, so if he did, he must have been off camera. But Cotton Eye Joe, he's got that front wing damage, which is probably why he wasn't able to catch up to Chris Can. But that gap to Tommen doesn't seem like it's changed, and Tommen's on 8 lap old tires. Fallen Monkeys pits, so the overcut definitely didn't work for him, as Chris Can's already clear by quite a while. So it's looking like the pitting first was the better idea, because let's do some quick maths here. Actually, I don't even have to do quick maths because I can just show you the gap to the leader. Chris Can, he's 10 seconds back of Lorenzo Scarfo. And they were, correct me if I'm wrong here, about what?
10 seconds before he pitted, so not much of a net change, but he would have definitely liked to have been a little bit more stretched out than that.
Well, had he reacted to Chris Can pitting right away, he might have been able to save a little bit more time. coming out of the pits and getting some laps on those fresh tires, because those softs, they're looking worn. They're going to be very worn at this point in the race. If he doesn't pit now, then it's game over, I think.
Same thing with Tommy. He's on 8-lap-old softs, and Chris Cann is catching him on 1-lap-old hards very, very quickly.
Yeah, and so looks like Chris Cann made the right decision pitting there. That promotes, actually, and we missed that promotes Roman, who pitted on hards quite a few laps ago. Lap 3, I believe, up into 4th place. So Fallen Monkeys loses, actually, a spot there on that pit. So he's one who definitely would have benefited from pitting early. And I'm not sure how he lost so much time, to be honest. I didn't see that. Looked like a clean pit stop, no front wing change. But here we are. He's 25 seconds to the leader, which is actually about the... and yeah, Lorenzo Scarfo. Look at that. Staying another lap. So he's definitely going for the overcut. He's going to make those softs last right until the end. And you know what I think he's trying to do? I think he's trying to do a one-stop on the mediums.
It looks like it. And it's going to be difficult because I'm trying to remember what lap he did pit on. Definitely going to have to definitely savor those medium tires. As they will
he started on those laps. So it says they're 9 laps old here, but they're actually 10 laps old. Or 12, because he had to do his qualifying on those tires.
Oh, it was Chris Cann getting held up by Tommy in the Mercedes.
Yeah, look at that. They're fighting there, but that's going to be an easy pass from Chris Cann as soon as he gets into the DRS range, because I don't think he's going to be holding him back too long there. Look at that. He's going to pop the DRS open, and before the straight's even done, he's side by side. Oh, big defensive move from Tommen, but he moves out of the way. Good reactions from Chris Cann there. That got a little bit hairy, but that's some pretty skilled driving we're seeing from these two drivers here. I like this aggressive but not over the top defending. You have to tell them your intention. You have to try your best, but once you know that the battle's lost, you move over. As Tommen, there you go. He knows it's over. He knows he can't make those tires last any longer. He's gonna put in, I believe those are hards on. Oh, medium. It's doing that thing. Yeah, that's. Lorenzo actually is on mediums. He just pitted as well. So it's gonna be interesting because Tommen now is on the hards. Lorenzo's on the mediums. I think they're both trying for a one stop, but just looking at how those softs degraded, I don't think Lorenzo's gonna be able to do it.
Nope. Softs were done they were looking worn by about 7 to 8 laps.
As Fallen Monkeys comes out right behind Lorenzo Scarfo. So Fallen Monkeys actually ends up kind of benefiting in the end. He was 2 seconds behind Lorenzo Scarfo at the pit stop, so he's going to be full on the attack. He's going to be gunning for him. Those medium tires are going to be a lot better right away, but they're going to fall off a lot quicker. So if we're not seeing a move now, I would expect to see one in about 10 to 12 laps probably. Another strategy we haven't considered or really talked about is Lorenzo going on a two-stop, mediums to soft.
Yes, maybe try and definitely, if he does go onto the softs later in the race, he's going to be head over heels faster than everyone else.
Absolutely.
On the mediums or hards. Try and maybe snag that fastest lap, gain a couple of positions up that he lost. So not quite the worst strategy in the world, but if he definitely wanted to try and snag a win, don't think that's going to work out for him.
No, at the very least, he might be able to get the fastest lap. But definitely, I think right now it's one of those Hamilton leaving off in the horizon of the Mercedes kind of scenarios with Chris Cann. He's far ahead. He manages his pace very well. He pitted at the perfect time. And as Scarfo goes wide there, it's going to give Fallen Monkeys quite a good run, hopefully, on this straight. He's popping open the DRS, but he's popping into 1. And look at that gap there going into the braking zone. Had he been on overtake, things would have been a lot different.
I think also he might be trying to conserve those medium tires because I think he knows he's going to get into a battle eventually.
Yeah.
Fallen Monkeys, so...
Well, that's the thing. That's Fallen Monkeys who's on low right now, and he's not using his battery at all. But he's at 57%. Let's see what Lorenzo's at. Lorenzo's got way more battery than him, so Fallen Monkeys, he needs to get on the attack, and he needs to get on the attack now. Because if he lets Lorenzo Scarfo stay too far ahead of him and conserve his battery like this because he's not attacking, then if he does get past, then there's no hope in defending. You're just going to get right past on the back on the next DRS straight.
Got to mention Tommy here in the Mercedes. Looking at the position change, he is the biggest mover in this race by far. He's moved up 10 spots from his last starting position.
Yeah, look at
all
that.
the way up to 5th.
And so, yeah, he started dead last. I don't remember if he just had some issues in qualifying or if he was one of those late joiners. But, yeah, big position change. Fallen Monkeys, too, +5. And unfortunate for Cruz and the deck who ended up with those early race accidents, losing quite a few spots. But ironically enough, Trax and Bigu end up not changing positions at all through their DNFs.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Cruz. Starting on the front row, right there in second, was in qualifying, compared to the gaps between everyone else, it doesn't look like he was very close to Chris, but he, in theory, was. I think he may have been able to challenge him, but, well, maybe not now as we see the pace of Chris. Just very unfortunate, though, for last week's race winner.
Yeah, and one thing I have been noticing, that gap for Roman actually is going down little bit by little bit. He was at 12.5 a couple laps ago, so he's keeping his head down. He's getting in there, and he's putting the chase on. But those tires, I believe, they're a lot older, and actually, it's kind of impressive that he's getting that gap down with tires that are twice as old. Do you think that means he's pitting near the end, putting those softs on, and then going on a chase, or do you think that would be too much of a time waste?
Talking about Roman switching to the softs at the end.
Absolutely.
I think if he wasn't in second place right now, I think he might. But it's very, very, very tough to say. If he was out of the podium places, I think he'd for sure.
Yeah. Well, right now, looking at the gaps, he'd come out in 6th or 7th.
Yeah, and 6th place gives you, oh my goodness, 8 points, and then the fastest lap is, it's less than second, which is 18. But
yeah.
At the same time, if you blow a tire, you're looking at no points and
exactly.
DNF, so.
Absolutely. Or if those tires are too old, you get on that curb that we've seen too many drivers make mistakes on so far this race. And that, again, no points.
Interesting, Chilmo is on 10-lap-old soft tires. Really not quite sure how he's doing it. And really not quite sure what strategy he's on. Has he pit yet?
I believe he has twice. Yes. Yeah, I believe he's actually pit. I'm looking at the wrong thing right now. There you go.
He is a lap down.
Yeah, he's pit twice. He's a lap down. There's not too much going on in this race for Chilmo. A very unfortunate start. I believe he was the Ferrari that got hit in that early race melee there, as we saw. Yeah, one of the Alfa Romeos overcorrect to the outside of the track, and it was just kind of a domino effect.
We've got a good little four-way battle here. We've got Cotton Eye Joe, Mushroom, Tommy N, and Fallen Monkeys, all within about 3-4 seconds of each other.
We're definitely gonna have to keep an eye out on this battle. I'm gonna set the broadcast camera to it right now. Looks like Tom and Mushroom, they're both getting within DRS range of him.
And just as I mentioned, Cotton Eye Joe looks like he's lost about 6/10, so may have had a slip up somewhere. But this is a nice three-way battle here for 4th position.
Yeah, and so the two Mercedes taking on that Red Bull. And actually, there's one of them a Williams. No, they're both Mercedes. Okay, this game, the colors sometimes they resemble each other, and and actually, look at that. Tommy's getting really close. Fallen Monkeys, they're about the same ERS. So, and Mushroom's actually even less. So, Fallen Monkeys technically he does have the upper hand right now. He does have almost the freshest tires, but it looks like Tommen has the best. Oh my goodness, there you go. Tommen goes wide, loses it. That's that for his battle. Mushroom now is going to go on the attack, try to honor his teammate there, and not going for it on that move. On that corner, sorry. Let's see if he's turned 14, does it? No, he's going to wait until that DRS straight. That's unfortunate for Tommen. He was looking really good.
I was riding on board with Tommen during that. It was an interesting situation. I had to slow up because you can't make a pass into that left-hander.
Exactly, yeah.
Right in the middle straight before you take the next right, he got his left front on the grass and just lost it, so...
And Mushroom, easy pass on Fallen Monkeys there, but he goes a little bit deep, and let's see if Fallen Monkeys gets the attack. He's looking good for the switchback on the next straightaway. He's gonna look inside, outside, but is he gonna be? No, he's gonna take it slow. He's not gonna risk that opportunity. He knows that Mushroom would have the inside line and the better line, and actually Mushroom gets a little bit on that curb there. That's gonna be tough. Fallen Monkeys is falling back though, but Mushroom, those tires are dead. He's going to have to pit, I'd say, in the next probably 5 laps, because looking at those other pit strategies, I think everyone's kind of gauging those hards as a 20 to 25 lap tire, and he's already up to 14. So Fallen Monkeys might get the last lap. He's not getting it right now. He's saving his ERS, which is a smart thing to do, because he's not in any position to attack. But and Mushroom gets wide. Oh, big moment there for Mushroom. I don't know if you saw that car wiggle.
Yeah.
But Cotton Eye Joe now, he's getting close to Fallen Monkeys. He's going to go on the outside. Fallen Monkeys about to lose 2 spots in a turn. They're going side by side into the corner. Cotton Eye Joe, he gets ahead. That was some great overtaking from Cotton Eye Joe. Fallen Monkeys, I think he could have been a little bit harder on that on that defense. That's sure. 2 people that pass him right now, and he honestly not much of a fight. And he's kind of just he's waiting for them to go by, and he's going, oh well, maybe I can outbrake them in the corner, but that's not always the case. That's not always the case, and as you can see, that backfires for him twice in a single lap.
Interesting to see now if Cotton Eye Joe on the medium.
Well, I believe Cotton Eye Joe is on the hards. He's on the hards according to my data right here.
Yeah, I'm on board with him. He has got the medium tires on his car, but anyways, he's got Fallen Monkeys. Interesting to see with Mushroom on 15 lap old hards. If he can eventually make a move in the coming laps.
Yeah, and this game does give you some tire glitches sometimes. Let's try to on board. We haven't seen much of him so far this race. Catastrophic. Let's get a little bit of an onboard shot, and he's supposed to be on hards. My broadcast is showing mediums right now, but he's on 8 lap old hard tires, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can catch up to Tommen. Oh, we got a Mushroom. Mushroom's out. What happened to Mushroom?
The exact same place.
Oh my goodness. And that's good for Fallen Monkeys. He gets this spot back, and Tommen gets his back. That's unfortunate. And Mushroom, see, 15 lap old tires. We were just talking about how you want that grip through that corner, and he's waiting a long time on those tires, and it's just not gonna work. You should have pitted a couple laps earlier, and you don't DNF, but you try to stick him out. That's it. You're in the wall.
And now for sure, I don't know if Roman has been paying attention to this. He's on 15 lap old hards. The gap is widening. I think he should definitely pit for at least mediums or softs.
Absolutely. And it's good. I'm not sure if he qualified on mediums, but if I'm Roman right now, I'm pitting for mediums. If I can make hards the last 15 laps and still feel okay, because those tires don't look like they got too much damage going on them on the onboard. But if I can make them last, 15 laps, they look okay. Those mediums, they're going to last till the end of the race for sure. We're looking at 11 laps at this point. And you're probably looking at catching up to Chris Can near the end of that race. And that's 5 seconds Vito speeding in the pit lane. That's unfortunate. And he's going to put on the mediums. So see, Vito's going to the end on those tires. Like you said, if I'm Roman, I'm doing that. I'm hopping in that pit lane right now. He's saving his ERS. He should be pushing a little bit harder, in my opinion, right now. Chilmo finally overtakes Mushroom. So now every finisher at this point, unless they get overtaken quite a bit, they're going to get a point. It happens like that. We did have a good turnout. We were supposed to have, I believe, 17 drivers. We had Scar, who was supposed to take part in this race, leave unexpectedly in the qualifying session. And a couple of other guys left because they didn't want to wait an extra 5 minutes for me to get home. but that's okay. Their fault. They're lost in the end. They're missing out on a good race. And Tier 1 races here tomorrow. Starts at 4 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. GMT if you're in England. If you're in France, that's 10 p.m. for you. One thing I've learned through getting quite a few French drivers in this league is that apparently Europe doesn't do time zones very well. And because they're all on the same one, so I can't blame them. But yeah, so 10 p.m. if you're in France or anywhere else in Europe that's not Portugal or England. England and Portugal, you guys are at 9 p.m. GMT. So we'll see, hopefully, all of you in the stream tomorrow. Any interesting battles? Let's ride on Lorenzo Scarfo right now. He's riding with those 8-lap-old medium tires. We're going to see if he can make any dent in that gap to Roman. See, this is a point where those...
Roman does come into the pits.
Oh, he does? Yeah, there you go. So Lorenzo Scarfo is going to take P2. Those tires are definitely not lasting till the end. We can guarantee that, because as Vito takes another penalty. That's.
But now, Chris, I think the interesting thing now, can Chris be under fire for maybe losing the lead of this race? Scarfo's mediums are 9 laps old. Chris's hards are 12. Roman just pitted for 15 lap old.
I believe it all depends on if Chris Can has to pit or not. If Chris Can has to pit, then Roman and even Cotton Eye Joe up to a certain point and Fallen Monkeys, they're going to the end. And they're right in that window. They're going to be coming out either right ahead or right behind Chris Can. And yes, Chris Can's tires will be fresh, but... if you got track position and you got 3 cars to get ahead of you and they're defending well, you might not get that fresh tire advantage. You're going to be stuck in their dirty air and you're not going to be able to make your move right away. So it all depends on if he's going to last to the end of the race on those tires. And doing some quick math, Rome made his tires last 16 to 17 laps. From now till the end of the race, that puts Chris Can at 21 laps. Can those tires last?
Another interesting thing, if all of these guys in front of Roman are going to have to pit, I'm not quite sure of the interval. Is Roman set up to possibly win this race? I'm, again, not sure of the time being lost in the pits, but...
usually on Australia, I believe it's about 24 seconds.
Oh, so then that idea might be out the window, but...
Yeah, but we're already seeing him catch up to Catastrophic right now. He's definitely... Yep. That's an easy pass into the next straightaway. Catastrophic, as you can see, he got a big moment out of that turn. He's actually diving into the pits, so he's making those tires only 11 laps. He's going to probably hop on the softs till the end. And that's 1 down, 5 to go for Roman. Definitely a better race for him than he had last week in Canada. But... that I can't fault him for last week's race. That was no fault of his own. He got a bit of a punt into turn 3 and lost his wing and had to fight back basically for the whole race. And Canada's a high-speed track, and you got to pit, you're going to lose a lot of time. So look at that. He's making a lot of time.
I've been riding on here with Chris Can. He is going so slowly through that left-right chicane where we've seen everyone lose it.
Yeah.
Almost not even on the gas through the entire chicane.
I'm sure he's seen quite a few cars sideways coming out of there, and he doesn't want to risk it. Those tires are getting old. He has a huge gap, and his mentality right now is, if I can last till the end, I win, right? If he doesn't have to pit, that's it. It's game over. He could be 2 seconds a lap slower than Lorenzo Scarfo, and he's still going to win this race. So
another interesting strategy is that if you're Lorenzo Scarfo, do you push and try and keep that gap under 21 seconds? Because you don't know if Chris Can's going to pit.
If I'm Lorenzo Scarfo, yeah, I'm pitting. I'm pushing right now.
And because if he does pit and then you push, then those mediums get even more worn. Then you're just setting yourself up for you having to pit.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to see. I don't think those mediums are gonna last till the end, to be honest. Cotton Eye Joe, Fallen Monkeys, Tommen, they're gonna last till the end most likely. I definitely don't see them having an issue, as we're riding on board right now with Tommen, who's under attack from Roman. I don't see them having an issue. Those tires should last till the end. Obviously, that curb at turns 8 and 9 is going to be an issue. Wait, is it 8 and 9? I get all mixed up on this track. But you know which curve I'm talking about. Yeah, the chicane on the back straight, exactly. 11 and 12. I was so far. And do you think Roman's going to go for the move on here? We're going to have to see. He's getting close, but yeah, if I'm Roman, I'm not going. Yeah, look at that. You can see him slow down already. He's getting his nose into that clean air so that he can get better braking power. And he's got the DRS here. And right on the back, he's going to dive down the inside. Is Tommy going to put up a fight? No, Tommy's going to be smart about it. He knows it's not his battle. He sees those sauce, but actually, is he going to go back to it? He's right on his bump. He's right on his bumper. But that soft, that traction from the softs, you can't match that. You absolutely cannot fight against that. And Tommen, at that point, you're in 6th place. The guy behind you is a full pit stop back. Do you pit for the fastest lap?
Not sure here. Wow. Let's see. He would not lose a space. Yeah, as you said, 22 seconds.
Exactly. And if he does, he would be right behind it. He's very easy to get back. Oh, as he gets a little bit wide there on that curb.
I think that answers our question.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
That little slip up right there.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to fight back against Rome, that's for sure. Rome is going to now go on the attack against Fallen Monkeys. Look at that. He was at a 6 or 7 second gap, I believe, when he passed Tommen, and he's already within 4.5 seconds almost. And I have to say, lap 25, he's in 4th. He's got the pace, he's got the tires. Hopefully, and a very smart move from him, avoiding that curb on the exit of that corner. We haven't seen a lot of drivers do that today, unfortunately, and it's cost them dearly.
Cotton Eye Joe is starting to catch Lorenzo Scarfo.
He is. Look at that, 2-second gap. Those mediums, they have to be falling off a cliff right now. They're about as old as Lorenzo Scarfo. Cotton Eye Joe's hards, but we all know that mediums don't last nearly as long. It's going to be interesting. I think Lorenzo Scarfo has to pit at this point. There's no other way around it. Those tires are not lasting an extra 5 laps. It would not surprise me if he's in the 60s, if not worse, for tire wear right now. And let's right on board with him. Let's see how much wiggle he's getting. And yeah, Cotton Eye Joe, look at that, just 10th after 10th after 10th, lap after lap, just leaving. And I think that's done. I think Cotton Eye Joe may very well make a good case for second place. We're gonna have to wait and see though. You can always make a mistake. Look at how slow he's going through there. Oh yeah.
Next time around, go on. Unless there's a good battle, you got to go on board with Chris Cam to the back straight chicane. I mean, it's almost laughable how slow he has to go to not.
Let me know when Chris Can enters Sector 2, and I'll switch over to him. But right now we got Roman, who's he's getting close to DRS range on Fallen Monkeys. If he gets a couple good corners in Sector 3, we're looking at DRS on the back straight. Actually, we've got 2 battles right now. Cotton Eye Joe, he's within a second. Not enough for DRS though, and if I remember correctly, this track does have a single DRS detection point for both of the main straights. So no luck for him so far.
As Chris now approaching the back, I'm going to hop on board with Cotton Eye Joe to look at this battle as you look at Chris through the chicane.
Fallen Monkeys there getting some help from his lapped teammate who gave him some DRS there on that back straight. So very helpful. He gets it right there again as Romain kind of has to sit back and go, man, why can't that be me? So they're battling through the corners. See, if I'm Alex Joe right now, I just sit back and I let my teammate go. I'm not going to distract him at all. And, big moment for Monkeys there. We saw that rear end step out. That's going to give a great opportunity for Roman going through the next corners. He's going to be smart about it. He's going to wait. But is he going to wait too long? He has a good opportunity coming into turn 8 and 9 and 10. And, yeah, 9 and 10 right there as the other Red Bull goes through again. Fallen Monkeys must be getting really frustrated with his teammate. I had this happen to with a Ferrari in the preseason race in Spain, and it made me crash into somebody. As Romain goes for the move. They're going to go side by side into turns 11 and 12. Romain, big moment on the inside. He's smart about it. He's going to drop back. But look at that, right on his rear diffuser. It's going to go down the inside into turn 13, side by side through turn 13. Fallen Monkeys, he's still pushing. He's not giving up that spot. Side by side through 14. They're going to go side by side right up until the start finish line. Wow, what a battle. Roman, he's smart. He's going to drop back, not even a tenth away. And let's... Oh my goodness. And they both have almost full ERS. And look at that. Look at that. He's going to go down the inside, stop it on overtake mode. Whew. Fallen Monkey's not ready to quit though. He's not ready to quit. He's going for it.
Oh,
but that's it.
All this has been happening. Chris has been into the pits.
Oh, there you go. Chris on softs. Chris on softs. We're going to have to... Yeah, I don't think Fallen Monkeys is fighting back from that. That was an amazing battle from the two of them. But those soft tires, you can't compete when you're on 17-lap old hards. Chris can. I think he's going for the fastest lap on top of his win. So that basically puts aside any thought of Lorenzo Scarfo pitting. Because... Yep. He came out. Look at that. We see Chris Can and Lorenzo Scarfo behind him, and he lost that opportunity. But look who's right behind Lorenzo Scarfo now. That's Cotton Eye Joe, and he's getting ready to possibly make a move for second place. So we're going to stay on board with him. And I was talking about this at the start of the race. These strategies, they're going to converge near the end. Everyone's going to kind of meet up together, and it's going to make for quite an intense finish. We already saw it with Fallen Monkeys and Roman. Let's see if Cotton Eye Joe can give us some more action as he's approaching Lorenzo Scarfo with the DRS open. But look Lorenzo Scarfo's DRS. He's at 12%, and he has a lot of defending to do. And Cotton Eye Joe, he's got half a full battery. So, I don't know. Lorenzo Scarfo, that's some bad ERS management. As Cotton Eye Joe dives down the inside, big moment from Lorenzo Scarfo as he gets a wheel on the grass. That gives Cotton Eye Joe the easy second place there. And I have to say, I said it before and I have to say it again, Lorenzo should have pitted. He should have pitted 10 laps ago. He should have put on another set of mediums or a set of hards, and he should have made it all the way to the end of the race on those. Because he's a sitting duck. He's just sitting duck, and we got 2 laps to go, and at the speed Roman's doing, he might actually catch up to him.
You never know. And we've got another good battle here.
Tommen and Fallen Monkeys there.
Yeah.
We're gonna hop on board as number 95 and number 69. We see a lot of those numbers in our leagues. Sometimes they're gonna duke it out in the final turns of Australia. Got 2 laps to go as Chris Can is rounding out, getting near the end of lap 27 right now. Let's hop with Tommen and Fallen Monkeys. They're going to head into the third DRS zone between turns 12 and 13. And is he going to go for it? We're going to see. He's going to dive down the inside, and look at that again. Fallen Monkeys, he just sits there. He just lets it happen. There's no defending going on. If you want that spot, you got to fight for it. You got to move to the inside. You got to tell him, no, you're not going there because my car is there. And he just lets it happen. Tommen with the easy overtake. And I understand, looking at those this tire data, those are some very worn tires right now. Those tires are probably screaming, please, please, pit me. But you got to fight a little bit harder than that.
Yeah.
And Roman, he's already 11 seconds back. He was 14 seconds at the start of lap 27. Fortunately, I don't think there's enough time for him to catch up Lorenzo Scarfo, barring a big mistake. But as we look at Scarfo, you can see him go so slowly through every turn. He does not want to risk it. Can he afford that, though? Can he afford to go 2 seconds slower a lap than Roman? Because he's gonna end up with no gap, no tires, and no ERS. Because that's all he needs. That's what's keeping him somewhat on pace right now. It's his battery.
This has got to be the longest lap and a half of his life.
He's gonna hate this little bit, that's for sure.
He's already now fallen 3 seconds behind Cotton Eye Joe, and he's just lost 5/10 in one corner.
Yep.
To Roman.
And Roman, he's already, look at that. He's 2 corners behind Lorenzo Scarfo right now. So Lorenzo, he makes a mistake on this lap and it's over. But he's just had to keep it clean, which, in his defense, going extremely slow will help you do. But are his tires at 80%? Is he at risk of a puncture? We don't know that. Let's hope for his sake it doesn't. Let's hope for our sake that he is. It would give us some action. We're going to ride on board with Fallen Monkeys for now, who's actually kind of closing that gap to Tommen. He's back in the DRS range. He's got ERS, and Tommen doesn't not. So actually, Fallen Monkeys, you know what I think he was doing? I think he was saying, Tommen, you can pass me. You know why? I got you on the last lap, buddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he gave that battle up easily. And look at that. He's right on him. 4/10 back. We're going to see if he can make a move going into turns 9 and 10 or 11 and 12. That's the back straight chicane that took out so many of our drivers today. Is he going to go for it? He's going to think about it. Braking hard. Oh, he has to move to the outside. That's going to cost him. There's just no traction under those tires. He can't get the brakes done in time. I think that's it for him. Unless Tommen makes a big mistake on the next corner, that might have been his only shot. He had to nail that braking zone, and he didn't. Oh, big moment. Yeah, Chris Can, he's going to win the round 2, tier 2. That's going to move him tied for first with Cruz in the lead of the championship. Actually, that moves him into first if he got the fastest lap. As Cotton Eye Joe actually crashes coming out of the crossing the finish line, and Lorenzo Scarfo's AI crashes into him. There's nothing Lorenzo could have done for that. LASRF Roman crosses the line in 4th. Tommen in 5th after a very good push. And yeah, Catastrophic had a slight moment there. Luckily for him, kept it out of the wall. Fallen Monkeys is 6th. Another good showing from the Red Bull. He finished 7th last week, so he must be happy with this steady haul of points. And Catastrophe's going to cross the line in 7th. Looks like Alex Ja and Chilmo are going to be done a couple laps down. But they're still going to get points. I'm sure, if you're going to be a couple laps down on a Grand Prix, that's probably the best case scenario, is to hope so many guys are lapped that you still end up in the points. So that Catastrophic crossed the line in 7th. Now, that's it. Actually, that's not it, because Vito still has a couple of corners to do. Man. But... Vito, we didn't see much of him today. He was kind of far at the back after early race incidents. That's definitely going to get looked at because we do have a stewarding system here at ISRL. A couple of penalties handed out last week. Gave Scarlingen a qualifying ban, which he did not take part of this session, so it's going to actually go back to next week. The qualifying ban applies to the first session you're a part of. We're going to take a quick look at the podium as Elias Christian, flying under the flag of Germany, takes a top step in that Williams. It's been a while since Williams been on that step of the podium. Thankfully for them, F1 Esports exists. Gets them there quite often. We've got a McLaren and an Alfa Romeo. So... thank you for tuning in, everyone who's watched this race. My name is ISRL Nate. I'm here with ISRL Carter. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Tier 2 Australian Grand Prix. Tune in tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. GMT, for the Tier 1 race. That's where all of our best drivers, including me and Carter, will be racing. Same track, same time, same place. Everything's the same. We just got a different set of drivers, and hopefully a different set of crazy racing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on the grid tomorrow. I'm not sure who's going to be commentating yet. We're still ironing out those details. Carter, anything you want to say?
Well, overall, solid race. The strategy really made it interesting with those tires at the end.
Absolutely, and they did kind of converge there on the end of the race, which as they so often do. So I believe that's it for this broadcast. Make sure to like the stream, subscribe to our channel, make sure to like us on Facebook. If you're interested in joining our league, we are accepting drivers for Tier 3, as well as a weekday tier that has yet to be confirmed, the day of the tier, rather. So make sure you join our Discord for that. We'll take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a good one.